I used to host a dating and relationship many, many moons ago called Yin and Yang. And we would go live all the time. And I never thought about it. And now, as I'm re-emerging again and hosting on YouTube, um, I was like, I think I want to do live. I think I want to go live. Also, it's immediate, it's instant. I am a mother. I am a wife. I have a career. I'm on deadline with a script that I'm writing. So, um, I found that when I made videos, I would have to take the time to edit them, cut them together, and I would squirrel away like a couple seconds and a couple minutes. And I was like cutting away, and editing. And I was like, you know what? I like the rawness of just saying the thing, letting it live in the space, saying it to whoever jumps on or happens to be around and can jump on and watch and consume. And yeah, I just kind of love that. And it's dangerous. It's dangerous because who knows what I might accidentally say that will like either strike a nerve in a good way or a bad way, or just not work at all. Hope not. But my re-emerging brand is very similar to Yin and Yang from of old, about finding balance in all your relationships, but also just sharing nuggets and pearls of wisdom that will make you ponder or help you live a better life. I like to think of it as nectar. Nectar is nourishing, it creates honey, which is amazing. And then there's the bees that drink nectar from the flower and they go from flower to flower to flower, giving this really wonderful thing, and they're sharing, and it's, doing all kinds of amazing things. So I just want to put something out into the world, share it, and maybe other people can gravitate toward it and enjoy it and consume it, and hopefully it makes their lives better. That's the goal. That is definitely my goal. I love people and I just want to share something. So today, my big share that I've been pondering on. So I always share things that I've been pondering on. I spend a lot of time as a writer, spend a lot of time just thinking about things and will this be a good story? But a lot of times I just think about things and I don't have anywhere to put it. And so putting it out there to you guys. So I have colon issues. So in the spirit of transparency, I had a really bad colonoscopy. So be sure to get a really great colon doctor. Do your research. When you get a colonoscopy, you really want to make sure you have a very established GI doctor who's capable of doing the thing, because the worst thing you can do is to have bad colonoscopy like I did. And now I'm stuck with all kinds of gut issues. And I don't really know what it is. Like most of my the GI doctors that I've had, they're like, oh, you have ulcerative colitis and you need to be on this drug forever and ever and ever. And I I'm like, well, I didn't like before I went to the GI doctor, before I went to the GI doctor and had a colonoscopy, I was fine. When I leave the GI doctor, I'm miserable. And now I'm being diagnosed with colitis, which I've been dealing with for like 10 years now. It's insane. Hi. I'm so happy all these people are logging on, and I'm hi to all of you. I appreciate it. So what I want to talk about is doctors and them as teachers and scholars, and versus healers. What I was pondering on the other day as I was saying going to the GI doctor was that, what is a doctor? So I look up the word doctor. And a doctor does mean teacher and scholar. Teacher and scholar. So I was like, okay, so what does that mean for a healer? My grandfather on my mother's side, my maternal grandfather, was a healer in the islands. My mother's from Dominica, and she told me stories about how I never met my mother's grandparent, my mother's parents, my grandparents on my mother's side, and she said all the time how um her there would always be people at the house, and her father would give them things to heal them. And when you go to a doctor, I literally had to lower my expectation because I realized, oh, the doctor isn't necessarily a healer. Which is like really it was like, "Are they a healer?" And then I looked it up and I was like, "Oh, they're teachers and scholars because of their knowledge and because of because of all the information they've learned over time and because they're brilliant and smart and all these things, and they have an understanding of the human body, which I'm not going to take anything away from doctors. My younger sister is an OB-GYN, which I think sits more on the side of healer as she delivers babies and so does all kinds of surgical procedures to correct and fix. And so I think there are doctors who actually heal, and even like your general doctors, your other other doctors who believe that they have something that will fix the problem. But by and large, I find that doctors have more knowledge about pharmaceuticals and they just want to give you the drugs. And I realize there are people who want the quick fix. They want to take the drug, they want to pop the pill. But for the people who don't, who actually want to be cured, who actually want to be healed, I want to encourage doctors to go one step further and really think about yourself as a healer and not just somebody who knows the body. um, my other GI doctor, he was like, "Well, there's nothing you can do about your colitis. There's nothing you can do. You just have to like take the pill." I'm like, "Really?" I was like, so I got salty. I was like, "Really?" I said, "So you think that as a doctor, you think all I can do is take the pill. So you don't have any idea on how I can heal my body." See, this is one of the things that happens when you go live. Anything can happen. I think my pool man's going to come and clean the pool. So I'm going to preemptively tell you, but I'm not sure. I don't think it's the gardener. But but in any case, I said, "What in the world?" I said, you know, Einstein, not Einstein. Who's the he was he Edison. Edison, in one of his writings, and it's always been said this might be a misquote or it didn't come from Edison, but I did a lot of digging and went through a lot of books, and I did find what I found was that Edison did say it. He said the doctor of the future will no longer prescribe pills; they will heal the body through foods and other things. Not to say that pharmaceuticals can't be used. 3, 2, 1, contact. There he is. Not to say that pharmaceuticals are the the death of all people, but when I see some of the drugs that these companies are making, they're not trying to heal you, they're trying to hook you. And I think doctors should take back their power. I think they are powerful entities. They're the first line that people go to try and be healed. And at minimum, they should do their own due diligence, do their own research, like some of these other doctors are doing, to find out how to really heal the body of particular ailments. If you're a GI doctor, you should really be trying to figure out how the body can really heal from an autoimmune. There is a woman who had MS. I'm so sorry, I'm blanking on her name. But you can look her up because I think at this point she's one of one, but she cured herself. She cured herself. She was like so aggressive about, no, there has to be a way the body can heal itself. And I 100% agree. Every time we get sick, the body's like, just wait a couple days. Your cold will cycle out of your body. Your immune system tries to fight. Even with cancers, there's people who have healed their cancer, but they're super aggressive and they do all these things to heal the body. And I just believe that there is some kind of treatment that can heal the body. But unfortunately, we live in a system that doesn't prosper or benefit, I should say, from the healing of the body, which is sad because I think doctors would prosper. They would prosper exponentially more if they could heal the body as opposed to pushing a drug that has harmful side effects. I'm borrowing from Peter to pay Paul. So I'm taking this drug and my kidney's going to fall out. I have to take one drug to offset the other drug. It's a never ending cycle. And they want to prescribe drugs. A lot of people have older parents. My parents are older. We're in the caregiving stage, my siblings and I caring for my parents. And my dad, by and large, is relatively healthy. But he has to go to the cardiologist. So I take him to the cardiologist. My husband's waving at me. So I take him to the cardiologist and they say, "Oh, he's fine, but we should put him on a beta blocker." I was like, "What?" I said, "Make what you said, just make that make sense because I have no problem pushing back on doctors." I realize they know a lot, but I also realize their allegiance isn't to me a lot of the times. And now and I couldn't articulate that then, but now I can articulate it. Their allegiance isn't necessarily to your body staying healthy. Their allegiance is to who's ever paying them. And I wish they would understand that we as individuals are paying them and we would pay them dearly if we could go there and be healed. like 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 if I knew I'd go to somebody who could give me a protocol to heal my gut, oh my God. Like the amount of drama I've been going through for all these years, and now there's somebody who can actually fix me? What? Come on now. They could have so much more power than the pharmaceutical companies if they would just take it back. And I keep hearing how doctors are losing money and how they're this, that, and the other. And it's like, yeah, because you don't heal anybody. You're not healing people. You're pushing a drug. Anyways, going back to my dad. So I tell her, I said, I really need you to explain to me, I try to be rude even though I get really salty. I said, I really need you to explain to me why, because I'm looking at the labs. I'm not a doctor, but I have a sister's doctor. Another sister's a really brilliant nurse practitioner. She knows quite a bit. She's really should just go to medical school and become a doctor because she'd be extraordinary. And she's on the functional health path. So um, she and I constantly talk about ways that the body can heal itself if only, people would be more committed to finding out what that thing is. So she's like, well, I can't really explain it. I said, "Well, I'm not the doctor. You are. I really need you to explain to me why you think he should be on beta blocker when you just told me this portion of his lab is okay." And I said, "I'm going to pull it out of you because I didn't go to medical school and I'm not a cardiologist. So I need you to find the words." And she never came up with the words, by the way. Whatever she said was just sort of flaky bullshit. I said, "We're not taking that." It's like, we're not taking that drug. No, thank you. And apparently beta blockers, for my dear friends who do have heart conditions and do need the beta blocker, by the way, I know some people have pushed the limit of their body and the pharmaceutical company is providing a life-saving drug because the body needs the help, right? But for us who have caught things soon and early and we just need to figure out how we can heal it, or even we've caught this late, like, I've read a lot about Dr. Gundry and watched all his videos. I've met the man. I went to his clinic in Palm Springs. I got my labs done by him. And he was a cardiothoracic surgeon. And he saw how some of his patients, some of you probably know his story, how he saw how his patients healed their body. And he was like, make peace with your life, say goodbye to your friends, like you're gonna die. And they came back like 6 months to a year later and totally completely healthy. And it just like just like blew his mind, as one would imagine. And he started studying. He was like, oh, the body can heal itself. Totally shifted his worldview, totally shifted his worldview. And he has since been on a nonstop blaze about how we can heal our body. And I've seen the same thing with Dr. Mark Hyman. He himself had a very um, serious illness. He was dying and he stepped out of the doctory frame of mind of like, these drugs are not working. What else can I do? Because I don't want to die. And he healed his body, right? He did all these healthy protocols with the food. Food is medicine, right? Dr. William Lee has a book out that says food is medicine, tells you all these foods you can eat to help support your immune system, to help fight cancers, help you prevent things. Dr. Robert Love and some of the other neurologists that he's working with out of Florida has a Alzheimer's dementia clinic where they're doing all this extensive research on how you can heal your body, how you can heal your brain. And they found this direct link from the gut brain connection. And a lot of you guys already know this. But my point, I'm going back to my point. There are doctors out there who believe that you can heal the body completely from different ailments. I mean, I think we have to go back to our early ancestors. Like they lived a long time. They died from like the land and like other things, not because they had like these very strange ailments. Obviously, they lived a different lifestyle, I have to add the caveat. They're not like us. They don't eat processed foods, they lived a different lifestyle than we do. They walked more, they did all these things. So now we have to create environments like gyms and all of that to replicate that type of lifestyle. But I do think it is worth noting there are doctors who believe that the body can heal itself. They believe that no matter how sick you are, you can find a way to heal yourself naturally. You don't have to have a lifelong sentence of a pharmaceutical drug. But in the meantime, again, I don't want to poo poo pharmaceuticals and tell people stop taking that. Like, that's not my, I'm not a medical doctor. I'm not going to suggest that people stop taking their pharmaceuticals. But I will say find a doctor who believes that you can be healed and that they're not going to just stick you on some drug that you have to pay forever and ever and ever and ever for. Is a mild drug called Lialda, and I have to be on it. They're my other doctor, and they forever and ever and ever, right? And I was like, I don't believe I should be on a drug forever and ever. I believe my body can heal itself. I believe we are a part of this divine universe and God as creator and as a maker of the human body. I believe my body can be healed, right? And just from a biblical standpoint, by his stripes I am healed, right? So so just like just like I believe my body can heal itself. So I don't need a spiritual doctor. I don't need any kind of like, I mean, it'd be nice if they were, obviously, but I don't need a monk praying on top of the mountain as my doctor. I just need a doctor who is a healer. I want a healer doctor, a doctor who believes my body can heal itself, not that I have to be on a drug day in, day out. So I'm I just want to share that as food for thought. Also to tell you that be vigilant in your search for doctors and really, really question. You don't have to be mean about it, but definitely I certainly don't think I was mean, but maybe they might have thought I was. But I think it's okay to question your doctor and just sort of push and push. Like, do you believe the body can heal itself? Is there some type of more holistic natural treatment? And they're going to be like, "Well, I'm not a homeopathic doctor." I'm like, "But are you a healer? What are we doing here if you're not trying to heal my body?" And I need you really to think about it. And you can't shift the worldview of a doctor because of how they were trained, but I think just asking the question is really powerful. And I think, I really do believe that if doctors shifted their mindset, they could be way more powerful than they are right now. Because I think people would go to the doctor more, but they're so cynical because I know I'm a cynic of going to doctors because I know they're just going to want to stick me on a drug. They're not going to give me like real they're gonna give me a diagnosis and then say, "Take this pill." And they don't even know if that said pill is really gonna be effective. Like, I got on one drug and it created a whole rash, it just, like, broke me on. They were like, "Okay, you can't do that one. Let's try this one." And then this one was like, "That didn't work. It just didn't work." And then they're like, "Okay, well, then not that one. Let's do this one." So, like, they're giving you things they don't even know is gonna freaking work. So, I'm speaking from my own my own space of distress and triggering, as you can tell. But I love you guys. I want people to have a good experience. I want people to go to the doctor. Like I say, I have healthcare professionals in my family. I want people to seek treatment, but the doctors that I listed, they are functional health doctors. That's only a handful, but there are others like that. There's so many more doctors who are starting to change their mindset and change their worldview about healing in the body. And I just encourage you to find those people, like find them, because I think you're worth it. Your health is worth it. Your healing is worth it. And I love you. I'm so glad to have gone live. Yay! I'm so glad a lot of you have joined me. I so appreciate you guys. Thank you for being here. I'm going to go live regularly because it's so fun. And like I said, I have two kids and they're very active and very busy, and I'm constantly running around. So I only have a short window of time to like jump on and make a video. And I found there was just such a delay in me editing them, doing all the bells, lights, and whistles, and then posting it that I was like, I just want to do something every day. I want to say some things that are going to be encouraging, uplifting, knowledgeable, and helpful, and then just leave it to you guys to consume. And I think that's what social media and the internet is all about. It's not always about editing a video. I really believe strongly in just the information and the knowledge is absolutely powerful. And I will try to like like be in a place where there aren't too many distractions so that there's still the feeling of curation. But I am also on Instagram, Lorna underscore dear. Feel free to hit me up and to ask questions if you have any thoughts or if you want me to research anything that you want me to share about. I will continue to share more things in the future, but that's all I got. Thank you for joining me. Bye. Not sure how